All right, I've calmed down a little bit now. I was absolutely fucking fuming as I came out of the game. It felt good to get the winner, the equaliser at the end. Wish it was a winner. It felt like we was going for a winner. It felt like we had a real good chance of getting a winner as well, in all honesty. But wasn't to be. Wasn't our day today. All fan cams are done. Go and check them out on Full Time Devils. There's a really good fan cam comp as well, and Bobby Charlton's in there as well. A little bit. I tried to have a look at what's gone on throughout the game and trying to piece together how we managed to come away with that when on paper prior to, and this is why football is played on grass and not on paper. But on paper, that team today should have been absolutely blown away. And there's a couple of things people are vining out of the preview, the live that we did when we got the team news in, because Jose Mourinho played a blinder. That was exactly what we wanted to see in terms of the lineup. It's like he got us. It's like he understood what we was going for in terms of where Manchester United fans wanted to see us go for this. And he put the top six out, that forward six, in a way that we wanted. It looked like he was going for the game. It looked like he was going to set us up to win a game, not to not lose a game. In the first 15, 20 minutes, it looked like that was going to happen. We was attacking down the flanks. We was getting crosses into the box. We was creating chances, and we was unlucky not to be finishing them. Liverpool set up to defend. They set up. The game was almost a carbon copy in the reverse order of what happened at Anfield, really. They set up the team in form. The other team set up to defend and hit the big guy in the channels, swap Origi for Zlatan, and that was pretty much what happened. And their midfield was a disappointment. Ours was a massive disappointment. And neither midfield really got into the game. It was passing it around the defence and then slinging it long from the defenders, which that's not United. And that wasn't United even when we're looking to go direct and try and get a result without playing well. That isn't what we've done well. That isn't why we've been on the run that we've been on. But that was what we sort of resorted to doing in the second half, especially. Taking Carrick off and going with Rooney. Carrick didn't have a great first half at all. I think credit to Liverpool. You have to say, there is 2 games in a game of football, and people often forget that. They pressed excellent. They pressed really well, but I thought that's when you've got to be clever, and that's when the players have got to come short a little bit. Maybe leave Marshall or Mkhitaryan out into one of the channels, but allow Zlatan to come in with that midfield, to come in with Pogba, to come in with Herrera and Pogba, and come closer to the man on the ball, especially when it's Michael Carrick, because you've got to find a way through that initial line of the press. Once you find a way through that initial line of the press, that second ball, which will be a pre-assist, which will be a ball into the channels, which will be almost a final ball at times, is going to open that Liverpool defence up, and we just didn't do it enough. We put in far too many speculative balls high in the air, and they dealt with them, or we would win them, but then we was a bit disjointed in terms of how we supported them. To beat a press, you've almost got to press the man in possession yourself, your own man in possession. You've got to go to him rather than coming away from him. You've got to give him options of easy passes. Quick one-touch passing is the way that you get around a heavy press, the way Liverpool pressed us today, and I think that we got done a little bit in a sense. Klopp's going to get credit for doing Jose here, but Jose didn't get the credit for doing Klopp away. I always said coming away with a draw at your bitter rivals is a result, and Liverpool are going away with a result. We feel like we've dropped 2 points, and that wasn't sort of the perception of what happened at Anfield. It was like, United parked the bus. We got a result. We got a sensible, clear-headed result at Anfield. And I said this week, if Liverpool got that, they would think that that was a result, and we would think that that was a poor result. And that's the case. You've got to win your home games and not lose your away games. If you do that in every single thing in football, you will end up there or thereabouts at the end of the season. And obviously it doesn't work like that. You do drop points at home, and you do pick up wins on the road, and you do lose games on the road. But ultimately, if you drew every away game and you won every home game, well, that's basically 60 points, 57 points at home, and 19 points on the road. That's pretty much championship form every single year, in it, there or thereabouts. So we didn't manage to do that. Liverpool did get the result, and I thought the midfield was very poor. Herrera, probably the only one. And as I went through the team, I was speaking to my dad at some point in the middle of the game, and I said, if you look through this team, there's not enough fight in the team. It's quite a soft team. There's a couple of hard men, you could say, in there, but who's really going to put a foot in? Rojo, definitely, and I like that Rojo will put a foot in. I like how aggressive Rojo can be, and I think that that's a real positive to his game about how aggressive he is able to be, because I think that can play on the opposition's mind a little bit. Then you've got Valencia. He's no nonsense. He'll go in as honest as you like, and he'll go in tough. He's not bottling out of a 50-50. You've got Herrera, and you've got Zlatan. And then that's it. I don't know if Marshall would go in for a 50-50. I don't know if Mkhitaryan would go in for a 50-50. Darmian. Jones can be a little bit all over the place. Carrick, Pogba. These are guys that, I don't think that you could call them hard men. And I think that maybe we needed do you know what? No, I think we was right with the team selection today. I was happy with the team selection. But it just wasn't enough. And we didn't do it. And we come away with only a point, and we're 2 points worse off. However, one thing I will say, I just had a look at the league table from the first week in December after we'd played Everton. Now I'm going to get these figures wrong because my computer's over there and I forgot the figures, but I think it was 7 points off fourth. I think it was 7 points off fourth and 10 or 11 points off first or something along those lines. So if you look at it in terms of that, we've pegged fourth back. We're only, I think it might have been 11 points to second, but whatever. We're 5 points off Spurs and Liverpool now in second. We're a couple of points off City. We're 3 points, I think, off Arsenal. That's all catchable. That's 2 cock-ups on their part. But United now have to start building again, and we have to start putting another run together of however many wins before the Europa League comes back, because I do think we're going to struggle once the Europa League does come back. This is what's frustrating. I've just seen a stat. I don't know how true it is, but I like it, so I'm going to roll with it. Since Madrid got beat today, United are now Europe's longest standing top 5 or top 6 league undefeated run of 16 games. So there are positives still to be had. We didn't lose. But you have to have question marks about how we failed to get our midfield on the ball today, how we failed to get the ball into the likes of Mkhitaryan, and how we failed to get the ball into the likes of Marshall. I'm seeing I sort of piss out of that kid getting only a minute's experience and then lining up against Marshall. And Marshall fucking rinsed him. I'm getting loads of Liverpool fans in my Twitter mentions, absolutely loads of them. But he rinsed him, didn't he? Marshall absolutely tated him. The kid got nowhere near him. And then they had to start tripling up on Marshall. And why we didn't either then switch it to the other side or try and come down the middle once that happened, I don't know. But the kid got nowhere near Marshall. And because Marshall got subbed because Mourinho was looking for different options, everyone thinks that, Marshall was shit and the kid did him. He's in his pocket. Well, it's just not the fucking case, is it? Marshall didn't score or get an assist. Doesn't mean that kid had his way with him. Marshall was going past him anytime he wanted whatsoever. So expect a lot of history revision as well. I also saw someone tweet me and say that kid got more passes than Pogba. He had 16 passes, and half of his passes were misplaced passes from a defender. That's arse. That's absolutely shit. Pogba was shit, but why lie about stats? They're easily provable. It's not hard to go and find out the actual stats from a match. Pathetic. So yeah, expect a lot of history revision in this one. I think ultimately it's not the worst result in the world, but it does feel a bit shit to come away dropping points like that. I did feel in the last few minutes, although as every single wounded soldier routine was happening by Liverpool, I thought that the chances of it was slipping away. There's some bogus calls again by the referee. Sounds like we had an offside goal looking at all the comments from everything. If that's the case, that's the case. We're still about 14 shit decisions going our way before it levels out, aren't we? So maybe it was right. Maybe it does level out over the course of a season, but we have a long way to go before that happens. Right. Loads of content coming out this week. Tomorrow I've got a vlog from today, so check that out. And tomorrow I was thinking about doing a tactical review and actually looking at the pass maps and the stats and going through all that lot. So I might do that tomorrow if I get opportunity. I might not. Tuesday there'll be a transfer talk. Wednesday will be the new day for the youth review. Thursday is the podcast. Friday we'll be doing a Snapchat Q&A. And then Saturday, me and Dave are in Leipzig for Leipzig against Frankfurt. RB Leipzig, Red Bull Leipzig against Frankfurt. And we're trying to speak to a player from Red Bull as well on Sunday. So keep your eyes peeled for all that stuff. That'll be on my channel and on Dave's channel. And then we start all over again next week, don't we? So thanks for watching. Still aiming and still kind of on course as well for 75k by the end of 2017. It's still in January. But that is the goal that we are going for big time. giving a PlayStation 4 away this week on my podcast on Thursday, so make sure you check that out. Get it in the comments who you thought was man of the match, because I don't know if I mentioned it in this video. I mentioned it in my fan cam. I thought Rojo was absolutely fantastic. He bailed Jones out when Jones nearly fucked up for what eventually led to Liverpool's goal. It was class. It was all game. He was doing the right thing at the right time with the right level of aggression, and I like it. So get your guys' comments. Who you think was man of the match? What the fuck we do, because pretty happy with the starting 11, to be honest. Don't think there's any major surgery needed. But how do we just play better than we did today? Anyway, nice one. See you in a bit.